Happy holidays from Football Daily. It's lovely to have you. We're doing questions and answers this week. There's a lot of questions, let's get through them. Let's get down to it. This is my favourite part of every week.
Yeah?
The questions. Do you know why?
Because
dedicated people
the subscribers,
comment below.
the followers, they get in some great questions. Got lots here.
Sparkles in Paris, one of the best names, says Neuer, Casillas, De Gea, Czech versus Hart. She says who's the best goalkeeper. If we say Neuer sits at the top of that pile right now, then we're really... I don't think Casillas comes into the list so much right now. He's got a great side, but it's the goals they score rather than the goals they don't concede.
I'd say so, yeah. He's coming to the end of his career in a way.
Yeah.
Probably will make one more move for the cash. Maybe go to Man City. That'd be quite interesting at the end of the season.
Maybe.
Or Arsenal.
Or MLS.
Liverpool, they need a keeper.
Liverpool do need a keeper. I'd be very happy with Casillas in the back. At least he'd be commanding in that back line. That's why Liverpool, I think, have dropped Mignolet. But anyway, back to normal, good goalkeepers. Let's talk about who's the best in the Premier League, because arguably they have the best stable of goalkeepers in the world.
Is it David De Gea? Is he the best goalkeeper in the Premier League? He's been very good this season, very good shot stopper.
Based on form.
Does that make him the best goalkeeper in the Premier League?
Yes, it does right now.
I'd say so. He made 7 saves against Liverpool. A few of them were brilliant. I do think he is the best right now with his feet. He's absolutely brilliant. Very underrated there.
Courtois?
Yeah, maybe it's 50-50, De Gea, Courtois. De Gea, he's had more opportunities to show his shot-stopping ability. He has this uncanny ability to just know where the ball's going, it seems like. Really crazy reflexes.
Almost if he practices it.
Yeah, you would say that. I wonder if he practices that every day. Yeah. But yeah, Courtois, De Gea.
Courtois is good. He's statistically the best goalkeeper in the league right now. Statistically.
There you go.
Yeah.
You've also got to look at Hugo Lloris.
Yeah.
Like another one that is sort of showing his shot-stopping ability at the moment because Spurs aren't that great at the back. I think that's the difference between Courtois behind a very, very steady back line. Doesn't have to make all these world-class saves at such frequency, but concentration-wise, brilliant, commanding the box, catching balls, unbelievable.
Would you say the one thing that maybe you want you want De Gea to step up on would be to command the players in front of him better?
Definitely.
So
therefore, is he not the best goalkeeper? Because the goalkeeper, it's not just about shot stopping, although it does look fantastic when they did it. But it's your all-round game, command of the area, catching crosses, all this sort of stuff.
But you can see De Gea is more vocal. He's a much more stature of a goalkeeper, and overall you'd say he's developed.
I think it will come with time, with experience, to be that commanding and to have centre-backs that he plays with week in, week out. I think that's another key thing about the amount of changes United have made at the back, that he's sort of stepped up and done these things. I think in terms of points that De Gea has actually won for Man United this season, you're looking at like the 2-1s that we've scraped where De Gea's against Stoke, against Everton, against Liverpool. Liverpool could have won that game. That's 3 points right there. Or at least 3 points or 2 points that De Gea has gained on his own. Looking at it that way, that's why I think he's better than Courtois just on points gained. I think Courtois might be more commanding, but I think it will come with De Gea.
See, that's what I'm saying. He's in a poor defence.
If you swap them over,
good defence. If you just swap them over,
maybe if you have the same.
It's all very hypothetical. But what we're saying is, really, it doesn't matter who's better. What matters is that we've got really good goalkeepers in the league, and Joe Hart doesn't come into that for me. I think there are too many times where Joe Hart's been inconsistent, and these two put themselves above that.
Yep. At Dyson, 1996, I believe,
my favourite name,
says, "Is Thierry Henry the greatest Premier League player of all time?" He's just retired. Of course.
Is he a GOAT?
So I would say yes. Even as a Spurs fan, I'd say Thierry Henry is the greatest Premier League player of all time. I think the people you've got alongside him, Alan Shearer, obviously the highest goal scorer in the league's history.
No, he doesn't
very good player.
He's too one-dimensional in that sense.
Yeah, it doesn't have the magic, didn't have those moments. Cristiano Ronaldo, he maybe was only at the top for 3 years, I think, maybe, in United. Yeah. Even though he became a world-class player, I think you struggle to say he was, he didn't do it over such a sustained period as Thierry Henry did. Yeah. And Eric Cantona, similar, he wasn't quite there long enough at the top to justify being the greatest ever. So I'd say Thierry Henry.
Henry also won the league a couple of times. He was in the Invincibles team. He scored some fantastic goals. The goal against Barthez, the back heel against Norwich. You can make against a compilation of Thierry Henry's 50 best goals.
Yeah, there will be, there's some variety in there. There's a lot of variety.
Yeah. And not only that, but I think he really led that side. And he was such a zeitgeist figure for the Premier League at that time. There was that swagger. He embodied exactly what Wenger wanted about Arsenal, and you even see his influence on the likes of players like Walcott and players coming after. Whereas with Cantona, maybe the mentality was there, but he didn't influence the players in the same way for such a long time.
Very
exactly. Influential at the time he was
If he
United.
didn't retire so soon, maybe he could be considered in the same way. I think Cantona was absolutely brilliant, carried United to that title, and an AFA Cup afterwards. It's interesting just to see Henry in terms of his goals. He scored a lot. Shearer more, Andy Cole more.
Lampard more.
That's who I want to mention. Frank Lampard. I think we're only going to finally go, Lampard was brilliant when he retires, when he moves on to the MLS, because to consistently score over 10 goals for something like 13 seasons from central midfield is absolutely outrageous. And that's where you'd argue there that he potentially will become like this Paul Scholes-esque player that everyone now, after Paul Scholes has retired, has gone, whoa, this guy is next level. But
who is it then? Who is the greatest then? Don't say. I know
it's just so tough.
Scholes
it's got to be Ryan Giggs, hasn't it?
Oh, that's a great shout.
You know what though? I see your point. I feel like Henry had just such you know what? Okay, Henry transcends teams. Ryan Giggs is a United legend. It's so difficult for everyone else to say Ryan Giggs is one of the best.
Is that down to like some sort of like personal?
Yeah, no.
People don't like him as a person.
No, it's nothing to do with it, because people did not like Manchester United that side from outside. Whereas you'd argue because of Henry's brand of football, he made Arsenal so likeable.
I'd argue that people don't like Ryan Giggs, so they're not willing to say he is the most decorated English footballer of all time in the English league. So surely you could argue he is the greatest Premier League player of all time. He's won the most out of anyone.
Only if you're going on intangibles. Intangibles.
You're going on the intangibles.
When you're going on your heart, mate.
And beauty.
Yeah,
but that means my heart is saying Thierry Henry, and that feels wrong.
What about Wayne Rooney?
But
Not even mentioned him. He's still
He's
playing.
He's not the greatest.
Scored a bag full of goals.
Yeah, but
I'm going to say Thierry Henry is the greatest. You're going to say Giggsy?
I'd like to say Cristiano Ronaldo for his short-termism, but for the long term, maybe going to go with Ryan Giggs.
Sure. Henry.
Let me ask you that on a related note.
Yeah.
Lampard or Gerrard, who's the best? Like, taking into account their legacy and.
You know what? I think Lampard will be remembered in a different way to the way that Gerrard was remembered. But Lampard does show elements of control in his game that maybe Gerrard doesn't show with the restraint. And I think Lampard's self-control and what he inherited from Jose Mourinho and that mindset has set him up to be a different kind of player. You could argue that Gerrard has managed to play under a lot of different managers, learned a lot from a lot of different managers, and there's a lot that's good about that. But it has never really benefited the team in the way that Lampard's nous has benefited his side. So I'm going to say Lampard.
I think, I'm going to go with Lampard as well with that, just because of his. Gerrard scored a lot of goals from set pieces over the last 3 years. Fair enough, he's still scoring goals, but Lampard is scoring goals from open play, and he's still making those late runs, and people are still not picking him up, and he's been doing it for his whole career. And I think that's maybe the way where Mourinho has sort of given him that professionalism, where he's still doing the same thing and he's still scoring goals. Man City are absolutely laughing at the moment, aren't they? Picking a player up on a free transfer and him scoring them goals that wins them games.
For fun, yeah.
For fun. It's, Chelsea potentially might need that later on in the season.
I think people think Gerrard is the better player. For some, I don't necessarily agree with that. But
athletically, Steven Gerrard is the better player, right? He's a better physical specimen than Frank Lampard. But I think Frank Lampard what he's done is he's learned to work with what his resources are and got
still banging in the goals now.
More out of that. Whereas Gerrard is now struggling at this point in his career to get that.
Once they've
That's
both
not disrespectful to Steven Gerrard, by the way. It's all relative. Steven Gerrard's still a legend in the league.
I think once they've retired and people reflect on it, people will say Lampard was. I think at the moment people think Gerrard is better, but I'd say when you reflect on the amount of titles, like you're seeing the goals over that period of years, he's either fourth all-time highest Premier League goal scorer. It's just
175 goals.
Technically, though, there have been some incredible goals from Steven Gerrard. You can forget the likes of West Ham in the FA Cup final, Olympiacos, the Champions League final where he scored, but then there's some quite incredible goals in Steven Gerrard's list. Where there's a goal against Portsmouth, I think, if you watch his top 10, and the ball curves literally like that, and he hits it on the half volley, and you just think, I've never seen another goal like that.
Might be a good versus episode, this one. Next versus.
Yeah.
Gerrard, Lampard. We'll take it all into look at all the stats and everything.
Sven and Eriksson messed it up. Rakim Razmum says, who's going to win the Pushkash Award?
So it's Stephanie Roche.
Yeah. Roche?
Whatever. James Rodriguez. James Rodriguez, I should say. And Robin Van Persie. For me, I would go for Stephanie. That goal was incredible.
James. Sick goal.
It was a great goal.
Sick goal. I'm going to go Stephanie as well.
Yeah.
Good goal, Steph.
Well played, Steph.
Can I call you Steph? Thanks. Are United title challengers?
Yes, definitely.
You would say that.
No Champions League, no League Cup. It's there, it's open. If we're in it by the end of January, then there's definitely a title challenge there.
Yeah.
Got players that have won the title before, winners.
They're saying there's that feeling around Old Trafford again.
There is that feeling.
RVP's
Experienced
talking about
players used to making the Championship surge from Christmas onwards. Wayne Rooney and David De Gea are threatening to have their very best seasons. The players are more flexible because of
best season.
the players are more flexible because of system change. I'm just reading the paper.
Yeah.
And Herrera is a proper central midfielder.
Yeah.
Although-
and Louis van Gaal. Do you not think they were very lucky to get? I know it's 6 wins in a row, very impressive.
But Van Gaal
they
still
were
to return.
quite
That's-
fortunate in all
That's
of those 6
championship
matches.
form. I think that's what it is. They're playing rubbish and they're winning. They've won
That is a
6
good-
in a row.
They
So
got
when they
very
hit
lucky.
form, what's going to happen? It's going to blow up.
Yeah, you could go one or two ways. You could say that he got very lucky in those 6 games. So when they come up against maybe better teams like City and Chelsea, they'll be in trouble. Or they're playing rubbish now and they got 6 in a row. What happens when they actually start to click a little bit? They're going to
But
be.
what you're saying is that's if they click.
There's a lot of ifs. Yeah.
And they have only clicked against QPR and Hull, maybe?
Yeah.
Are the 2 games
Yeah,
that maybe
'cause
they
I
think
say
like
so.
even Stoke, like Ashley Young cleared it off the line like
Yeah.
the last
Hull-
second.
Hull-
That is it lucky?
Hull don't count because Steve Bruce manages them and he rolls over
Ooh.
like a fucking dog every time he plays United. And that's a cat, mate. I've never seen a match where, and I'm not saying it's match fixing, all I'm saying is if you wanted to tickle his belly, you could when he goes to Old Trafford.
If you manage Man United or even Chelsea, or
Yeah, and I imagine Louis van Gaal just went up to me and was like,
sorry,
imagine I'm
Steve.
Sir Alex, and just shook his hand.
Integrity
Are they
questioning.
Are they title challenges? He's saying yes. What are you saying? I don't think they're going to win the title.
No.
I think they're third. They could be third place now.
They're a solid third.
I think
place.
it's either first or second. Really do.
Wow.
No, I think Chelsea and City will beat.
I just think their defence is going to, I don't know. To be fair, you look at it now, like you're saying, they're not playing well. A lot of injuries, and they're still 8 points off the top.
We've got
which
January.
is-
Buy who we want because we're not in the Champions League. It doesn't matter. You don't have to be like, can't buy him because he's eligible for the Champions League. We just go right.
Don't
Well,
care,
I'll
mate. I'll have him.
whoever.
Yeah, but you won't be able to buy him off those clubs,
Are
maybe.
you seeing though, Dave, that Louis van Gaal will get an unlimited war chest in January?
Yes, I am.
An unlimited war chest.
It's going to be money everywhere.
Well, thank you very much for joining us for the questions below. It's been lovely to have Adam and Dave here. Merry Christmas, happy holidays. What do I say? Happy Hanukkah.
You said it all.
Mushy mushy.
Nailed
You
it.
said it all, mate.
Yeah. Cheers. Thank you very much for joining us. It's been lovely to have you. If you've got any comments, let us know in the comments below or at Football Daily UK.